Twitter has permanently suspended the personal account of Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. The social media service removed Greene's account on Sunday after she tweeted a misleading chart with unverified data Saturday. The tweet falsely suggested COVID vaccines were causing large numbers of deaths. The post represents Greene's fifth violation of Twitter's coronavirus misinformation policy.
A Twitter spokesperson told The Hill, quote, "We've been clear that per our strike system for this policy, we will permanently suspend accounts for repeated violations of the policy." And while Greene's congressional Twitter account remains intact, the suspension of her personal account has some wondering what platform she'll be on next, though early Sunday morning it appeared she took to Getter and Telegram to air out her frustrations with the Twitter ban.
She attacked Twitter as a, quote, enemy to America.
I think that these steps are important, but frankly, a little too little and a little too late. The reality is it's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene. All over Twitter, social media, Facebook, all of these companies have been using algorithms that are just about clickbait, not about truth.
Still, for a lot of Americans who care about the truth, basic facts, and public decency, having Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal account removed from Twitter is a nice start to the new year. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster, and thanks for joining us. Over the past several months, Marjorie Taylor Greene has used her personal Twitter account to call Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell a bitch. She has labeled another congressional Republican trash, and she has complained that violent January 6 rioters are sitting in prison conditions that are like a prisoner of war camp. Really? For those of you keeping track, it was on another social media platform when she alleged that Jewish space lasers were responsible for some of those wildfires in California. To be clear, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a vile and disgusting lunatic. However, the Twitter ban raises some important questions. First of all, does the social media platform have the right to ban Greene? And second, should Twitter be issuing bans? Let's deal with the easy one first. Twitter does have the legal right to ban Marjorie Taylor Greene or anybody else. Twitter is not the public sidewalk. It is a privately owned platform. And the company is entitled to establish its own usage standards and kick off people who don't comply. This is a tough one for some conservatives to understand, given the number of right-wingers who have created a scene when asked to wear masks in a store or on an airplane. But let me be clear, your First Amendment rights do not allow you to say whatever you want or do whatever you want in a private business or on private property. If Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to spread misinformation about COVID, she can stand outside Twitter headquarters on the public sidewalk and scream as much as she likes. But she does not have a right to be on Twitter and violate their terms of service. Now, there's a more compelling debate, in my view, about whether Twitter should ban anybody. I get the fears that tech companies are promoting a dystopian world when these companies are the arbiters of truth and get to decide when an opinion, even if it is faulty and misguided, becomes too much. And generally, we should have more public debate and discourse, not less. But again, the key word is public. I will defend the right of Marjorie Taylor Greene or anybody else to say whatever they want in the public square, to march in public, and to promote on public property any opinions they have, even opinions that I find disgusting and repulsive. There is that famous quote often attributed to Benjamin Franklin that the clash of ideas is the sound of freedom. I agree. But we need to protect that clash when it happens in the public square. There is no right to have it on Twitter. And I don't see much harm when a private tech company says you are not allowed to use their platform if you lie. Greene is now using a different platform, and that's fine. That conservative platform and Twitter get to decide for themselves how credible they want to be in the eyes of their users and customers. It's a business decision, not a First Amendment one. And Twitter's ban of Marjorie Taylor Greene has not harmed the First Amendment in the least.